Hi, welcome to this video. My name is Puppet and I hope you're having a great day today or night. Today is a book unhaul, and the reason why I'm getting rid of these books is because I've bought them and thought they were interesting, but as time went on I just lost interest and don't plan on finishing them, or I started reading them and I just didn't like it and I had to put it down. So the first book is The Assassin Game by Christy Mckay. This book takes place at a boarding school where this girl, she wants to feel like she belongs. So every year they have like a secret elite society game where there's one killer and there's a certain amount of survivors, and nobody knows who the killer is except for one person. And the killer's supposed to go around and kill these people around school, like pretend kill them using pranks. But then it becomes a little too real, and I don't know, I thought someone's gonna die, but nobody dies in this book. And I know it's a YA book, but I was hoping someone would die at least. And then the whole reason why this thing started to become a little too real, more than just a game, it's not dumb. I finished it, but I didn't like it. I should make a review about this book. I should. The next book is As Death Draws Near by Hoover. I'm sorry, I'm bad at pronouncing names. This book is about, I think someone kills a nun and then another nun gets killed, and so they're trying to find out like who's the killer, something like that. Okay, that book has to go bye-bye. Next one is Christmas Shopaholic by Sophie Kinsella. This book is supposed to be a comedy. It's supposed to be funny. I know that it's supposed to be funny, but it's not my humor. I just found the humor here really dumb. I did laugh one time. But overall, I found the character very dumb. I didn't read any of the previous books, so I didn't see this character grow up to who she is now, but I just couldn't stand her. Everything she did or said was just really dumb, and it just amazed me. But I just did not finish this book. But it's a beautiful cover though, don't get me wrong. Like, the cover was what drew me in. But I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to get rid of books to make room for other ones. Next book is The Wild Inside by Jamie Bradbury. This book is about surviving in Alaska. I think she's stranded, if I'm correct. I don't really remember, but I just know it takes place in Alaska and it's a survival story. And in the back of the book, I was reading and it says, born in Illinois, Jamie Bradbury, etc., etc. I was like, oh, she was born in Illinois, okay. But then inside the book, in the Meet Jamie Bradbury page, it says, born in Ohio, Jamie Bradbury, etc., etc. And I was like, so is she born in Ohio or is she born in Illinois? But I think I just read 13 pages of this. Or did I read like 20 something? I don't know. But I just put it down and I just never came back to it. So I'm sure someone else will enjoy this story. It's just, I just lost interest. Next one is a manga. It's Black Butler. And okay, I love this manga. If you haven't read this manga, you should probably read it. It's so good. And I already have a copy of this. I just received a second copy of this one in the mail, really randomly. So I don't know why, but I don't need two copies of the same manga. So it's gonna have to go, even though I do love this manga. It's about a boy who makes a contract with a demon, and this demon becomes his butler. And so the contract is that the demon will help the kid avenge his parents' death. Now we don't know who killed him, what exactly happened, or like why. But at the end of the contract, the demon will have his soul. But it's really good. I have every volume. So good. Next book is Miss Pilgrim's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom. when I first started reading this book, I actually was really interested. I was having fun. I liked the idea of the really weird, creepy pictures inside the book. But then I realized halfway through the story that nothing was really happening. I still felt like I was in the exposition part of the story. And then eventually I got really bored and annoyed that I started skimming. But then I got more bored that I just wanted to finish the book. So I started reading one page and then I would skip one page. I would read one page and then skip one page. And then I realized the way the book ended that it wasn't done. And then I realized it's a series. And I was like, I'm not reading the series. I'm sorry, I could barely handle this first book. There's no way I'm reading the rest of them. Next one is Serpent and Dove by Shelby. I'm sorry, I'm not even gonna pronounce it. I'm so bad at pronunciation. I went to buy this book the day it came out. I went to Barnes & Noble and I bought it. And I started reading it and I got a few pages in, but then I put it down because, you know, I had school, I had work, and then I had to do my homework and all that stuff. And so I didn't have time to read, and I kind of forgot about this book, and then other books came out, so I was interested in those, so I started reading those, and I just forgot about it. And then I saw the reviews for it, and it does not sound good. And I'm sorry, the cover is beautiful. I'll give it those props. I just won't read it. I'm sorry. And I want to make room for other books that I do enjoy or I will read. Next one is Caraval by Stephanie Garber. Garber. This book is about, I guess this one, the girl's sister is taking into this circus or Caraval, and she has to find her within 5 days. And that's all I know about it. And it sounded interesting when I bought it, but it's just, I'm not gonna read it anymore. I just lost interest in it. So it's gonna have to go bye-bye. If you're wondering what my mug is, it's an avocado. It's really cute. I got it for Christmas. I love it. Next book is The Dinner List by Rebecca Cyril. This book is about a girl who she gets the opportunity to have dinner with 5 people alive or dead. It could be anybody. And so she decides to have dinner with her best friend, her ex-boyfriend, her dead father, one of her professors, and Audrey Hepburn. And we take a glimpse in the past with what happened with her ex-boyfriend, between her and her ex-boyfriend, and why they're broken up and all that stuff. And in the present, while she's having dinner with these people. But as the story went on, I just really did not care about the story about the ex-boyfriend and the friend and then the father, and then Audrey Hepburn was there. And at some point, I felt like they were giving lines to characters because the author was like, oh, we have 5 people. We have to give them dialogue. They can't just sit there and say nothing. So one person will say one thing and everybody else would just kind of repeat what that other person said. And I was like, okay, like, now you're just giving out random dialogue just to have them say something in the book at the dinner table. But I did not finish it, and I don't plan on finishing it, so that's why it's bye-bye. Next one is Willa of the Wood by Robert Beatty. I bought this book, and it sounded really cute. It's a children's story, I know, and it sounded really cute, but then I forgot about it, and now I just don't plan on reading it. So I'm sure there's gonna be someone out there, a child, who would like to read this book and will be better suited for them and will like the story, because I'm not gonna read it. So I'd rather give them the chance to read the story than this just sitting on my shelf and just being forgotten about and lonely. Whoa. Sorry, I moved it. Next one is Winter Song by S.J. Jones. This book is about, I guess there's a Goblin King. I think it's a goblin. Yeah, a Goblin King. And this girl's sister is taken into that world. So now that sister has to go save her sister from the Goblin King. And that's all I know about it. I bought this book along with Caraval. But so that was a while ago. And I just don't find this interesting anymore. The plot, I'm not in the mood to read any fantasy, this type of fantasy. So I have to get rid of it, I'm sorry. Next one is Conceal Don't Feel by Jen Calonita. It's a retelling of Frozen, but what if the sisters never knew each other? That sounded interesting. I actually had a hard time between picking which princess story I wanted to read, but I ended up going with Frozen because Frozen 2 was coming out at the time. And this book wasn't bad, but it's not my type of style, my type of story. So I'm gonna have to get rid of it. It wasn't bad though, it was good, but it wasn't amazing, something I loved and like, oh my god, it's so great. It's like, oh yeah, it was okay, you know, I got a little bored at times, but that's just because it's not my type of style of stories. All right, and then the next one I have Lord of the Flies by William Golding. So I actually love this book. I read this back in high school. I love the story. It was amazing. I loved it, okay? But I already have a copy of this book, and this one is written all over it, and I don't like my books that have writing all over it and highlights. I like my books clean. And I already have a copy, a better version copy, so this one's just gonna have to go. And then the last three are actually mangas. I have this one. I don't know. Sorry. I don't know how to say it, but somebody gave me this. So I have volume 1, I have volume 2, and I have volume 3. And I was reading the first one, and it just doesn't sound like it's for me. I wasn't even sure what it was about. I think I was half paying attention, half not. And yeah, it's just gonna have to go. I'm sorry. I'm just not gonna give these a read. So that's it for today. That is my book unhaul. I'm sorry, books, but we're gonna have to depart ways. I'm sure there'll be someone out there who will love you and cherish you.